Well, now, I don't know whether you know this. The best time to plant a tree was actually 20 years ago. That's why you're enjoying the shade of that particular tree. And who can tell me what is the next best time to plant a tree? You're right. It is now. All right? Now, this is what we say. Do you usually feel like there is a sort of a cheating involved in between as far as the acquisition of wealth, and rich and whatever success, however you call it, is involved? Do you feel like, sure, I'm working as hard I'm supposed to do or to do, to work, but at the same time I feel like, you know what, I'm not achieving as better result as ought to achieve. Now the question is, you always find yourself in a constant battle with your mind. You're like, okay, do I think like I need to, for example, if you just pull any random individual, if you just pick any person randomly and ask them, do you think the wealthy people usually achieve their wealth in a legit way and whatever? Most of the people, some people will tell you, truly, there are people who have actually become wealthy and they have actually used their own discipline. They have actually embarked on saving, investing, and what kind of, and that's why they reach where they are. Others will tell you, no, these guys are actually get some kickbacks, they get some tenders. Others are doing, in Kenya, we call them wash and what have you, and all those kind of things. So the thing is, true, I always tell people, truly, in between the midst of the people who have actually worked hard towards attainment of that particular success, we also have some other characters and calibers that have actually engaged themselves in quite not a so pleasing games. So let's focus on the people who embarked truly and truthfully in a legit way or in an integrity way, creation of that particular wealth. And today I'm going to share with you how to cheat that long wealthy game. Ask yourself, it seems as if it's a long time, it's a whatever, and the moment I tell you, hey, you know what, go ahead and pump that 5,000 each and every month, getting a return of 13% per year, and if you do that continuously for the next 10 years from now, you're going to have yourself a million. And maybe perhaps once I tell you that sounds like a big thing, like 10 years is a long time, it ain't going to be achieved and what have you. For example, the good thing is that we all can relate what is a COVID-19, all right? The coronavirus. We were all alive if you're watching me this particular video. Now, the point is, who can tell me when was the COVID-19 came, and why do you even call it COVID-19? We call it COVID-19 because it actually happened to come on 2019. If I tell you from when the COVID-19 came up to date, it's 5 years down the line, how many of you would agree? Yeah, absolutely. Sounds questionable because it was just recently. I mean, up to date, we still have some people on the streets who put on their mask. And the moment you see them, even in Kenya, when you're just moving around, you can see hawkers, they are selling new masks and what have you. And still remember, how many of you today, they pay their bills using the phone, because in Kenya, we really have something called the M-Pesa, and we do use that to pay anything and everything, whatever the place it is, okay? Now, what does exactly that tell you? It tells you that it sounds like just, some few sort of like a month ago. This was 5 years down the line, and here we are. So the point is this long, wealthy game that is perceived to be played, it is not actually that long as you think. And this is what you do if you just want to cheat, sort of quote unquote, cheat that long, wealthy game for you to achieve that particular thing. This is what we do. When you're starting, let's say this is the start, and I'm going to draw sort of a line here. I'm not going to reach to the end up particular there. Let me just reach there. So when you're here at the starting, okay, starting, this is where you are conceptualizing ideas, concept. This is where you're getting the concept. This is where you're getting the dreams. This is where you're getting the ideas. This is where you're having what we call them the goals. This is where you're allowed to dream. And that's why I always say, hope is a good breakfast, but it's a poor dinner. This is when you are allowed to have all the hope, to have all the dreams, to, visualize about your life, visualize about yourself. So you are the beginning. Let's say this is the destination, okay? This is the destination. Okay, let's say your destination is maybe your destination is to create a system that is earning you, say, 100,000 passive income without you doing nothing, 200,000, 1 million, and what kind of that, okay? Whereby you can just sleep, relax, and money is just coming in and flowing in, okay? So this is your destination, and this is where you are right now. Now, between here and here, obviously, that is a plan. And what you need to have is what we call the vehicle. See, when you identify when you are going, you need a vehicle to take you from here to this particular point. Are we together? And once you get the vehicle, I'm assuming you're using a public transport. Okay, so what you need again is to have what we call the fare, the ticketing from this particular point to the other. But we'll come to that. When you are at the beginning in this particular period, and then you look at the dream that you're having based on the amount of money that you're earning, then probably in between here, we call this, maybe probably this is 20 years in between the line. Again, depends with your age. Others is 10 years. Others is actually 5 years. Okay, others is 3 years. Depends on what your goal is. Are we together? So the moment you know, hey, mine is 20 years from where I am to where I want to be. Now you ask yourself, what am I supposed to do for the next 20 years for me to achieve that? See, when you're beginning, you usually have nothing. You don't have anything to trade. Everything relies on you. You are the system that relies on you. This is when you have to trade three things. And I always give you these examples. See, when you finish university and you get a job, you usually trade your energy. Are we together? You trade your energy, you trade your skills, and guess what else you trade? You usually trade your time, because those are the things that you can exchange for a pay. Okay, you do not have any investment. There is nothing that is bringing you some cash. So when you're starting, these are the three things that you rely on. Obviously, when someone tells you 20 years, sounds like a long period of time. But if you start with that baby step that you have as of now, first of all, you lay what we call the layer of protection. That's when you have the emergency fund to make sure that at least you can cater for your food, your utilities, the normal thing, the fixed costs that actually sustains a human being for the next 3 to 6 months. That is amazing. Then you embark on a journey towards acquisition of that particular dream. Let's say, for example, you start to even draw as little as 2,000 per month. If you throw the first month, the second month, the fourth month, by the time now we are clocking the first year here, this is where now we have the first year, we have ourselves 2 times 12, we have ourselves 24,000 Kenyan shillings. That's what we have saved. Let's say our target is maybe 3 or 5 or 10 million, or whichever the target it is. Focus on what you've achieved and put your eye on the goal. Okay, now when you have this 24,000, you are no longer the same person as you were when you were starting. Why? You have you. Why? You have the energy, you still have the skills, and you still have the time. So you still have you as an asset to make money. And on top of that, now you have the 24,000 on top of you, who is having the energy, the skills, and the time that can as well help you to do that. And you view this 24,000 as an extra individual whom you can hire to actually work for you. Did I make sense on that? This money that you're having, and this is why I want to change you, I want you to change your mentality as far as the money is concerned. Don't view it as a product to be consumed, but view it as a tool to make more of it. So the moment you have it, now you ask yourself, sure, what exactly can I do with this 24,000? Where can I channel? Where can I, or what exactly can I do so that this 24,000, it's not just idle, but it's somewhere making me money. And remember one thing, you're exchanging three things to get a pay. Now, when you use this money, you create a system, and this system is what we call an investment. Okay, an investment has now replaced energy, skills, and time, and at the end of the day, you get the pay. Guess what happens now? Now you have the individual one, who is you, and then you have the individual two, who is the money that you are earning, or the money that you have that you channel towards an investment. And now you're having two people working for you. You have you working for you, and then you have this extra thing working for you. Guess what happens now? If you were to rely on this solely without having the money towards the achievement of the particular thing, that would have taken you quite a long time. But now you have an extra of this, and the only way that you can actually do much in a single day. Remember one thing, a day is made up of 24 hours. Nobody has more, but you can have people in that particular hour. There are people who earn 1,000 Kenyan shillings. I remember when I was in the painting industry, when I was doing those kind of jobs, I used to earn 1,000 particular day. All right, and there's the same particular day, there was somebody who was earning, like my foreman or somebody who used to give me those jobs and whatever. The guy was earning 3,000. We are having 24 hours. I'm making 1,000. The guy is making 3,000. And if he's making the 3,000, definitely by default, the owner of that particular place where we used to build is actually making probably double that foreman is making. And from that, if you go up the ladder, the higher the ladder you become, the more influential you are. When I say influential, I mean the more valuable you are, the more money you will make. For example, if you come to Kenya, we have some CEOs, okay, with the top, who are the CEOs of the top banks here in Kenya. They earn 1.1 million per day. That's like 11,000 US dollars in a single day. All right. I know from an individual's eye, or from an average eye, that might be seemed as if they are stealing, they are thieves, they are not intellectual, their integrity issues, and but they are legit guys. Are we together? So, and they're still operating at the same 24 hours. So, but you're having more things being done. And this is why when you start a business, you delegate most of the things so that you can have a lot being done in a particular day. And that's why I always tell people, please do not confuse movement with progress. Just because you are doing a lot does not mean you're getting a lot more done. Those are two different things that you're supposed to understand. So how then do you cheat this long process, whatever the thing? When I say you cheat, I simply don't mean like you go do illegal things. I simply means when you use the money, you use the skills that you have in combination, you shorten the period. You're earning 50,000, this investment is bringing you another 40,000. What you're earning and what you're getting as a passive income collectively pump back towards an investment. Do you know there's something called investing until you're broke? You know, you invest until you're broke. You know, until you broke. Let me just say it in quote, until you broke. You're investing in the sense that everything that you're concentrating now or for now is just investing. That money that you're getting from your income, if you're employed, combine it with that what is coming from your either business that you're having or maybe let's say an investment that you're having, put them together, you throw them back into an investment, you create a bigger portfolio, you go back to your job, you get that what you're getting from that what you're getting from a bigger portfolio, you invest to another bigger one. So by the time now you realize, the time you're talking about the third year, the fourth year, the fifth year, you are actually operating. For example, in Kenya, we have a dream or vision called the 2030. We are simply 6 years from now for achieving that particular 2030. How, for example, in Africa, if you're watching this from Africa, did you know that Africa has a vision, Agenda 2063? We want to achieve this and that and the other thing and all those kind of things in collective. So what exactly are you doing? What is your agenda? If a nation itself has a vision, they want to be here in this particular period of time, do you have that vision? And please don't just tell me, yes, one day I would like, please work towards, do you know where you are in terms of how much are you saving? How far are you from achieving that particular target? And this is what I told you. If you have a big target, please try to compartmentalize it. Subdivide it into smaller achievable sections or compartments. And once you achieve that one, have that motivation, have that zeal, get the next one, get the next one, get the other one. And that is how you progressively achieve the entire dream, entire vision and goal without even you feeling like you've used a lot of time. Because there is one thing I will tell you, becoming wealthy, it is never an event. It's not a thing that just happens like that. Well, of course, if you win those things, the lottery and what have you, but just check in the society how many people wins that particular thing. So it's not a thing that you can say, hey, you know what, for example, this is what I always tell people. Check out on what the majority of people whom you know are wealthy did. So if you're doing something different from what they did, if you're betting and they were not betting, if you're gambling and they were not gambling, then probably you're not going to end up with the result that, for example, if you see me with muscles and what have you, you have to do something that I did for you to achieve that particular thing. That's why we always say achieving that what you call financial freedom is actually intentional. You have to appear intentionally doing that particular thing. You cannot just operate on hope, believe that, hey, one day it's going to work. Fine, there's nothing wrong with you having those kind of hope and whatever, but please have the strategies that you've laid down. Show people, this is where I'm going, this is where I'm aiming, this is what I'm aiming, and that way you can be able to achieve that what you want as far as the financial freedom is concerned. Hope I've tried by the best I can to answer this question. By the way, if you feel like I need to make a part 2 of this particular video, let me know in the comment section, and make sure that you don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment on the comment section. And for now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next one.